fear of what others might say about you. It's like we were born with this wall inside of our minds. And every time we try to do something, we bump against it. Most of the time, we don't even know what others will think because we never try to do what we want. We stop ourselves before we even get to that point. And that's the problem. The wall that holds us back isn't real. It only exists in our heads. Sadly, most people will never get close to the thing they've dreamt about. They'll never come face to face with real life. We don't actually, and the truth is, we don't actually care what other people think. We care about what we think they'll think. And have you noticed that this fear usually only appears in a negative context? We rarely stop ourselves with the thought, what will people think if I do something good? It's always when we are afraid we did something wrong. It's always, there must be something wrong with me. We are wired to believe that if someone thinks something about us, it's probably a criticism, not a compliment, only something bad. But what if you trained your brain or trained your mind to flip it? What if you asked yourself, what will people say? Your brain responded with something kind. What if when you thought, what will they think? The answer was something good. Because those thoughts you are afraid others are having, they are not real. They are yours. They are your own voice in your mind. You might feel things. You might feel like energies or read the room when you enter, but you will never know exactly what someone else is thinking, because most of the time it's your trauma or anxiety that creates these narratives in your head. Most of us were raised in the way that we were very protected and not like in a good way, but more like hidden or covered, but never truly revealed. And what I mean by that, the world was presented to us as this something big and dangerous, so we were taught to stay small and to stay in a comfort zone. And I understand why the world were presented the way it is. I'm aware, but as adults, we continue to educate ourselves in that same way. So that's why when someone says, don't worry about what other thinks, we can't just stop worrying. It's deeply ingrained in our heads. And what I was saying about education, staying small, we were covered in the way that we were taught to be small. Not be too much, because if you speak too much, if you dressed like, in the more visible way, like what others will think. So I was saying it in that kind of way. And the next time, what you can try is, for example, if you are in a big meeting or any important room, imagine that the people in front of you are thinking positive about you, something supportive, something nice. The truth is, you don't know what they are thinking, so why not imagine something good? And that's it. And just that shift make it easier to show up, to speak, to be present. Suddenly you feel safer, and maybe you even start to participate more. We need to start re-educating ourselves, and we need to ask why we are giving space in our minds to people who are negative, unkind, or not supportive. Why do we give a voice to those people? Like, why we made room in our heads for people who bring us down. You've been limiting yourselves your whole life, not because of what people actually think, but because of your own thoughts. You start imagining their criticism even before they say a word. It's like you handing them a script, and maybe they act like it before and they act like that after, because people mirror each other. So if you believe that people think about you in that way, or that person thinks about you in that way, without even being sure, because you haven't talked to that person, yeah, it's like you already gave them the script. People can't think something good about you until you let them. Until you let them in your mind. So don't, and maybe some people, you can tell sometimes, and you can see if someone doesn't like you, and that's okay. But we're talking about more people here. So don't let your anxieties make you think what is not actually real. So next time you have this fear, what others might say about you, start to changing the ending. Just change the ending. What will they say? Let your mind answer something kind. What will they think? Something good. And I remember when I was trying to rewrite my mind in this way, I was thinking, but that's just not how the real world works. It's just not real. And what I realized is reality, the way we think reality works and isn't always the reality. Okay, let me tell this again. What you think is reality isn't always reality. Your brain doesn't care what reality is. It creates its own. That's how the mind works. So if your mind had the power to imagine fear, it also had the power to imagine hope. And that's where everything starts to change.